All right, everybody, welcome back. This is your favorite, least educated music podcast on the internet. We Don't Know Toots, hosted by me, Rob, the Big Tutor Schultz, and I'm here with my brother once again, Steve Grasstain Jenkins Schultz. What's up, Grasstain Jenkins?
Oh, stained as always, Big Tutor brother
Living
Big
up
Toots,
to the nickname.
Big T, baby.
Big T and Big GJ. And today we're back
What?
with a favorite of old Grasstain and Tudor, State Champs. Just
Oh
released
yeah,
a new album, self-titled.
I'd say this is a staple of ours band wise. I mean, this is
Oh
probably
yeah.
one of the bands we've seen together live most. I'd say
This
State
is the
Champs.
band that I've seen the most times in concert. I think I've
Yeah,
seen them 5 times now.
I've seen them 3. I
And
know.
looking down the barrel of number 6 next Saturday in Atlanta.
They put on a great show,
Very
man. I've
excited
always
about
had
that.
fun.
Dude, they're so much fun. I love their shows.
It's been a while, man. When we went, it was probably, I remember Alyssa went with us the last time we went together, and I think she was still in high
That
school.
was in Detroit. No way.
Yeah,
It
because I
wasn't
remember
that
she had
long
to
ago.
she had to ask her dad to go. So
I guess it was that long ago.
I'm pretty sure it was that long ago.
Yeah, that was that was when Our Last Night was there.
Yeah, our
And
last
we were like
night State
super excited,
Champs.
but that was like right when they entered their covers only era and haven't looked back.
Yeah, and it was not. It was a terrible set. Like
Mm-hmm.
they played like only covers, and then they had just released a couple new songs that week, and that's like almost all they played. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good album. Like I feel like it meshes well with a lot of like their older stuff that I used to listen to. Like it's definitely a little, I'd say, poppier and lighter than like their. It's definitely poppier and lighter than their old stuff, but it's pretty good for being a new album of a band I used to like back in high school.
That's I think that's just kind of their new sound. I was gonna say the
Yeah.
same thing. It's trending more towards pop rock, but they still got that pop punk/punk sound that State Champs is really good at. But it reminded me a lot of their last album, the Kings of the New Age, which I
Mm-hmm.
really wasn't. I still really am not a fan of Kings of the New Age. Like it's got some good songs, and I am familiar with a lot of the tracks, but I don't. I think I have like one of them saved, but it has that. That's just the kind of the new sound they're in. Is that borderline pop rock, and it's not as quite as punchy and mosh around Warped Tour kind of sound that they used to have back with their first
Mm-hmm.
couple albums. But I think
I
as long as I'm gonna be going to this concert at pushing 30, undisclosed age, but I think this is might be more the vibe for me because moshing really takes it out of me now. Like
oh
that Sum 41 concert, I mean, we didn't mosh, but I was headbanging like crazy, and my whole body was locked up and sore for an entire week. So
my gosh, Rob.
it's so sad. It's pathetic. So like I'm don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be in the pit. I'm just gonna be paying for it. But
Yeah,
this album lends itself more to standing on the outside of the pit while the youngins do their thing, and I just kind of like headbang and vibe a little bit
you hit
because
it
it's
up for
not
like
quite as like
the important songs is when you get in.
yeah, oh yeah, like the old school stuff. I'll be in there. I'll be throwing.
Mhm.
I'll be throwing down. Don't you worry. But this is yeah, this is it's a more gentle rock, if you can use the word gentle. It's a little softer, a little more
Yep.
vibey, more made for just kind of like stand around and vibe into it rather than just throwing down in the pit. But yeah,
Dude,
their
random.
self-titled album, and it starts with what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask, how much are State Champs tickets now?
Well, tickets were 35, but
Oh,
Ticketmaster did its thing, so ended up spending 50.
okay.
And then
Still
I
not
bought
bad.
Isaac's ticket just out of the goodness of my heart, so I ended up spending $100. But I mean,
S-
for 2 tickets to a band
Yeah,
that I love, see, that's not. I'll take that.
that's not much more than we used to pay.
That's the regular price for a band that we're typically into.
Yeah, nice, not bad. Anyways,
Yeah,
we'll
and
get
you're
into it,
more than welcome to show up, bro.
dude. If I hadn't just gotten back into town 3 days ago,
But it's
I
on a
would.
Saturday.
I know, but I mean,
And it's
there's
a
only so
holiday
much.
Saturday. Like
I
you
know.
can spend Thanksgiving with your people and then come up Friday night, rock out on Saturday and go back on Sunday. No harm, no foul.
That's spoken like a true single man.
Bring Alyssa. I know she rocks out.
But she's spending this weekend with family as well, Rob. I have 2 families I spend holiday weekends with now.
Bring all the families.
Oh, okay. There we go then.
We'll sell out this venue with just our 2 families combined.
As long as you continue to buy the tickets out of the goodness of your heart.
$100 is my limit. I have $100 goodness limit.
$100. How far? You're going to the Atlanta show, right?
Yeah, so that's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. But
Dude,
probably not.
I'm telling you.
Maybe. But
Run it by her and see what happens.
Okay. All right.
Anyways,
Let's get
starting
into
out
it.
with The Constant. I thought it was a solid intro track. It was a
Yep.
very catchy jump around, little bit of headbanging chorus.
Yeah, dude.
Kind of
That.
like we said, it was upbeat and poppy, but it's a good intro song.
Yeah, I like honestly, like once the song started and just listening to the intro and then the song just gave me real listening to pop punk in the summer days of my high school
Yeah,
youth
absolutely.
vibes. Like it took me right back to Warped Tour, bro. Because I think Warped
Mm-hmm.
Tour, I don't know, were they at 2016 Warped Tour?
We've seen them at a Warped Tour before, right?
I thought so, because that might have been the
I
first
think
time
we
I saw
have.
them. I
Feel
don't know.
nah. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if we saw them at a Warped Tour.
I
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
but it
know.
does have that general that era of pop punk sound, like the last couple years of pop punk or the last couple years of Warped Tour. That pop punk that was popular right then. That's what it sounded. That it does have
Yeah,
that kind of sound.
yeah. But yeah, great intro song, honestly. I mean, I don't know I didn't think we were waiting to the end of the episode to say what our favorite song was, but this might have ended up being my favorite on the album. I really liked it.
Oh, okay.
Or actually, you know what? I know it's not. It's my second favorite.
Oh, okay.
I
I
forgot
thought
what my.
it was a very upbeat sounding song for the lyrical content. Like it's a song about, being used by someone that you trusted or depended on. Like
Mm-hmm.
he says, "Do you think I deserve this, keeping me in the dark while you got what you wanted?" And then he's like, "After all this time, you were the constant." But like the sound is just so positive and fun and like you said, summery and just something you'd want to jump around to, but bums you out a little bit.
Yeah, dude. I thought it was. Uh, I just I don't know, like because a lot of the music that we listened to back in our youthful days has disappeared. This made me like hearing this as the intro. I was like, nice, all right, they're back. Because like you said, that last album, I wasn't a fan of it either. I haven't listened to it in a while because I really didn't like it when I listened to it, so I haven't gone out of my way to listen to it again. I saw it when I went to their profile on Spotify. I'm like, I should probably give it another listen. But
I
it's
actually did. I
oh
went
yeah,
back and listened to it because, like I said, like it did remind me of that album. I was like, it's been since the album dropped since I had listened to it, and I was actually surprisingly familiar with a majority of the songs. So I guess they just keep coming up in recommended songs or whatever. But
well
yeah, it is a very similar vibe.
you gotta brush up on it if you got a concert, anyways. So
That's true. Well, I'm not gonna. So I just remember this one time back when Yellow Card first like broke up. I think they're back now, aren't they? Like, aren't they touring or
they
have recently toured or something like that?
they were on I saw them like a tour in Europe or something, I think. 'Cause I remember seeing
Oh,
him be like,
okay.
"Oh, sick." I'm like, "Well, of course, it's somewhere I can't be," and I assume that's either the UK or Australia always seems to have some
Yeah.
banging lineups that I can't go to.
I just remember that when they like first broke up and they were doing like their final couple shows. I know they were like the last time they played in Ohio, they were at Warped Tour and we got to see the last time they played in Ohio before they broke up. But like they were on that final run there, and I remember they must have played like a lot of songs off their final album, and someone tweeted at them like, "Stop playing stop playing new stuff. We came to hear the classics." And the lead singer replied to her and was like, "This is why bands you like break up." So I hate to complain and wish that I don't hear some of the new stuff, but you could at least skip Kings of the New Age. You can rock with the self-titled, but Kings of the
Yeah.
New Age you can play one or two and we'll all be good.
Yeah, cause I wouldn't hate hearing the only reason I would hate hearing anything from the self-titled is just because I don't know it that well,
Yeah, it's too new.
but, I mean, yeah, I mean, if they played, like, what was the one just before Living Proof? I remember not being a
Oh
huge
yeah,
fan of
Living Proof.
Living Proof, but then I listened to it again, and I was like, "Actually, yeah, this is actually pretty."
Yeah, I came back around on that album like
Yeah,
180.
same. Didn't like it, but it's pretty solid. But, yeah, if they stuck with Apparently I'm Nothing, Finer Things, Around the World and Back, that was it, bro. Whew. Whew. I remember Around the World and Back coming out, like, that's right around when you introduced them to me, because you had just found them, and you're like, "Oh, dude, check out this band I've been digging."
I hadn't just found no, I found them back when they were in their Finer Things run because they opened for All Time Low that time I went to see them. That's how I found them.
Oh, yeah, because Elevated, I think that might have been the first song you showed me. Man,
Man,
it's a great
that
album.
is the benchmark. The Finer Things is the state champs benchmark. I hate to say it for them because that was so long ago, but man, I hold that album
Oh, it's
in a
so
very
good.
on a very high pedestal.
It's so dude, Elevated, Deadly Conversation, and Simple Existence, 3 A-list songs, so good.
I just I was saw on a reel the other day. What song was it? Apparently yeah, it was Elevated. Was actually not written about a girl because it sounds like it's a breakup. Like, so tell me, why can't you see this is where you need to be? I know it's taking its toll on me, but I don't feel invisible. Apparently, it was written about the bassist, Ryan Scott Graham, because apparently at that time, he was thinking about leaving the band for whatever reason. And
Huh,
so the lead singer wrote this song about him, but it sounds like a love song,
that's so
which I thought was
romantic.
kind of dope.
He wrote the song for the bassist, bro.
Right?
I mean, that's awesome, but
And
it
I'm
just
glad
that
he did
cracks me
because it
up.
worked out.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of what, weird thing. So I went to State Champs' Spotify because I'm typing out my notes and I kept saying pop punk. I'm like, that's what they were. Is that what you
Hmm.
qualify them now? Their bio, dude. So here's their bio on Spotify. Younger than Gen X punk heroes like Billy Joe Armstrong and Mark Hoppus. Older than
True.
Willow and Trippie Redd. So I guess those are
Oof.
that's what Spotify considers the new version, or whoever wrote this, the new
I
version of
think
State
typically the
Champs.
bands submit that bio.
Maybe
Those are the parameters they set for themselves. Trippy Red all the way up to Green Day. Yikes,
Trippie
that's a
Redd
big
and
window
Willow.
right there.
I guess I just haven't really listened to enough Trippie Redd and Willow, but that's not who I would have been like,
And
yeah, they're
that's
the new
I
State
yeah.
Champs. Not at
I've listened
all.
to maybe one Willow song. I'm barely more familiar with Trippy Red, but I don't think I would branch them in a million years. I would never put them in any kind of matching category, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's just
What
such
do I
a
know? Not Toots.
it's just such a weird bio that they have. They goes, as the new generation resurrects angsty unrest on TikTok, and Machine Gun Kelly puts guitar back in mainstream chart. State
No,
champs
he did
double
not.
down on vibrant pop punk. Yeah, I'm like, none of this sounds true. I struggle to
Okay,
believe that State Champs actually wrote that because no person that knows anything about music would have written that. Other than the
I
Billy
want
Joe
to take
Armstrong and Blink 182 being the predecessors, I
right
agree with that. After that, it just descends into
that.
nonsense.
Now that you say it, that does sound like something Spotify would have written. They're just like, let AI take over this bio here
Yeah,
because
that's
that was way off. And let me take this moment to mini rant here. Machine Gun Kelly has done nothing for the rock scene or really any music scene because he was terrible at rap
yeah.
and like like not that I have ever been a huge rap fan or like very well versed in rap, but I knew that he was bad. But then for some reason he decided to go at Eminem
Yeah.
for what just for clout, I guess. But he made a diss track against Eminem, and then Eminem responded and bodied him so hard that he's like, okay, well, I have to switch genres entirely now. And now he just makes terrible pop punk music, and I've heard some of his pop punk music, and that's terrible. So like State Champs needs to come out and write a diss track against Machine Gun Kelly so he can go do friggin' country or something.
I thought he did country for a little bit.
There's no way.
I thought he
I
dipped
hope
into
I
it.
hope he did. I
Let's-
hope he did.
I
That
gotta
would be
Google that
hilarious.
because I feel like he did. Let's see here.
I can't imagine how bad that would be. And then have like George Strait come out and write a diss track. Just fade away, Machine Gun Kelly. Just go ahead. You'll be well known for dating Megan Fox and tattooing half your body black for some reason.
Here's
That can be your claim to fame.
Here's countrycentral.com. This time it's MGK, the artist formerly known as Machine Gun Kelly, diving into country music. What started with short covers of songs like There's Your Trouble by the Chicks at CMA Fest and Son to Me by Zach Bryan in his live from Cheshire Cottage session has now turned into full-on studio releases.
No, I had no idea. I'm very out of the MGK loop, but yikes, of course he did. Of course he did. He's like, nothing's working. What could work?
It sounds like he's done a bunch of covers and then he had a release with Jelly Roll.
I know very little about Jelly Roll too. I know he's pretty popular though.
I know he's pretty popular. Yeah,
I know he had a song with Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah. This article just says, that said, just because Post Malone can go country and make it successful does not mean that every rap artist will be able to do the same thing as successfully.
Well said.
Yeah, so he really is doing that bounce around genres because he keeps sucking at everything he does. I haven't given him a full listen, so I guess I can't be super critical. It's just
I've given him enough of a listen to know how I feel.
I feel like I've heard like one song where I was like, not bad actually. I can't remember what it was.
Everyone's gonna have one of those songs though, like because there are a few songs. I know he has been featured on a Sleeping with Sirens track like way back in the day. That was my first introduction to him. Actually, was that he was on a Sleeping with Sirens track, and I was like, that's not terrible. But everything I've heard since then is just like this is not for me.
Yeah, we saw him live at Bunbury.
We did, yeah. Only because, in our defense, what else were we going to go see? I don't even remember, but apparently there was nothing worth going to.
Yeah, it was enough for us to not, for us to sit and watch.
I do remember that, and I remember us sitting very far in the back because we're just here so that we aren't just sitting listening to nothing.
And he had a giant,
we'll sit back and
giant snake microphone.
I don't remember that. I remember him doing a Rage Against the Machine cover, Bulls on Parade. And I was like, oh, that's Rage Against the Machine. And then after that, I was like, okay, I don't know this. But he's from Cleveland, so Cleveland sports teams keep hyping him up,
yeah,
look at this celebrity that loves us. And he did something special to open the Browns game once, and I commented something no, I just opened the comments, and someone was like, y'all stay hating for no reason. You're just hating because he's more popular than you ever will be. And I was like, I'd rather be unknown than to be well known for being bad at everything I do.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's enough of an MGK rant. We're back to State Champs. Up next, Silver Cloud. That was a long one. This was their first single. They only did 2 singles for this album, but this was the first one that came out. I thought it sounded, especially in the intro, I thought it really sounded like OG State Champs.
Yeah, exactly. And he hits this right when, near the end of each chorus, he hits that, it doesn't faze me. His voice totally shifts. It's almost like he'll have 2 different voices while he's singing. And he does that in a lot of songs. I really like that, that sound and what he does with his voice. And he pulled that out in this song where it's really noticeable. So it definitely, it definitely brought that old State Champ sound to this song, too.
He also does it when he's standing underneath the silver cloud, but I don't feel it raining now.
Yeah, raining now. Yeah.
That's a catchy part of the chorus. I love the chorus to this song.
Yeah. Yeah,
very good choice for a single, too. Though, I mean, the whole chorus was catchy, but that I don't feel it raining now. I like that part.
I don't feel it raining now. Yeah, that's classic. This is a song I definitely could see like me getting into if they played it live, even though I don't really know. There's some songs on here I'm like, man, if I didn't know this song and they played it at a concert, I probably would just be kind of doing the real basic jump with my hands in the air kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't think I would mosh to any of these songs.
Yeah.
This is more my almost 30 album.
Yeah. This is where you catch your breath. Honestly, though, when I'm at a concert and I don't know the song, that's kind of I'll use the mosh pit as like my excuse to be like, all right, I'm not singing along. I'm just kind of standing here awkwardly. So I'm like, I'll just get in the mosh pit because there's always a
True.
mosh pit going, no matter how soft the song is. Could be like an
Yeah.
acoustic and piano song, and some dude in a bro tank top that's there by himself will try and start a mosh pit. It's always the songs that shouldn't be mosh to. The mosh pit always gets started by some dude who's there by himself.
The
Every
unsung
time.
heroes of our society.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I thought that was a good song. One of the better ones, honestly. And
Yeah, I liked it.
IMO.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I saved a lot of this album. Not all of
Oh,
them, but a
really?
lot of them. Like I will say, I didn't say it at the beginning, but even though I said that this reminded me of the album that I wasn't a big fan of, and I didn't dislike Kings of the New Age, it just wasn't my album. But as much as it reminded me of that album, like this one was a banger. I thought the whole album was very solid.
I have one song saved, but I didn't end up saving a bunch. I gotta go through and give it a listen again because, like, so I gave it a listen when I was on my road trip just to hear it, but like I was talking a bunch during it, so I didn't totally remember it. And now I've been listening to it like while I'm at work, so I haven't really
Mm-hmm.
gotten a chance to really let it, the art side of it,
Marinate.
yeah, sink in. I've just been giving it an analytical listen for science.
I've been listening to it a lot. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I'm feeling this album.
Nice.
Up next, Clueless.
Oh yeah, dude, this is like classic Midwest pop punk with the girl that I
Mm-hmm.
love doesn't know I exist,
Dude,
but then they end
yes.
up running into each other at a party. I'm like, dude, if like 2000s emo kids would be totally okay with this song.
Dude, you took the notes right out of my mouth.
That's hilarious.
I said it was an old school pop punk sounding kind of song and it had the lyrics about a girl liking a girl that's not into you. I love the line where he said they were at the party and he said she
Yeah.
spilled her drink on me and I said sorry.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
that is
Oh my
like that's like a
goodness.
classic Blink line right there.
Yeah, like that would be like, dude, 2010 to 2008 to 2012 me would be listening to this and been like, yeah. Oh my goodness, this
Mm-hmm.
is so real, even though I've like never been to a party at that point or talked to girls. I would just relate to it still so hard, way harder than I ever actually could.
Anytime a girl had spilled a drink on me, I just ran from the party. So the party for me was over at that point. I was out of there.
I usually just turn around and start screaming at them and calling them stupid. That's usually what I've
Well,
found to be the most
at
effective.
least you have the nerve to talk to girls at a party.
Yeah. Oh
See,
yeah.
that's the difference between me and you. I run, you scream at them.
Yeah. Well,
You're the
and
true
then
alpha here.
yeah, that's true. Everything from what I've read, girls prefer to be screamed at in the middle of crowds by random strangers. Just
That's
kidding.
the winning move right there.
To all
They
our
also had a
listeners,
decent, like a
they prefer to
short
be
little.
respected.
They also had a decent short little guitar solo in this one.
Oh yeah.
Like right after the second chorus, I was like, "Ooh, guitar solo," and it's over. But it was
Yeah.
decent. It was
They kept,
almost metalish, like real high pitched guitar solo, but not quite enough.
they kept having little dilly doos that I'd be like, all right, here it goes, and then it wouldn't. I'm like,
Yeah,
throughout this
yeah.
album they have those.
Well, to be fair, State Champs has never been a guitar solo band, but
Yeah. No,
they
I
can't
know.
just tease us like that and
Yeah,
then
I know. Oh, you're
not finish us,
teasing me. Yeah. I'm a sensitive boy. I can't be teased. All right.
Don't musically blue ball me like that.
Yeah.
State champ, Mr. Champs.
Yeah. I prefer my music to be a true experience, not just some game.
Yeah, I
All
want to go
right.
all the way with you.
Speaking of going all the way, Rob, and blue balls, light blue. The next
Beautiful
song,
transition.
which was also my favorite on the album. I already had this saved because I remember I was just listening
Uh-huh.
to music like a couple weeks ago, and back when, because I guess this was one of the singles, right? And so a
Yeah,
couple
it was
weeks ago,
the second and final single, yep.
this came up in my like some recommended on Spotify, and I just saved it without really looking because I was doing some work,
Mhm.
and then this came up on the album. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
just
this
didn't
is
really
this is a
notice.
very good song.
Yeah, so I will say, all right, but it's the same. This is the same with a lot of pop punk, so I don't feel bad saying this. Like, I know that the lyrics can be are a little cheesy or whatever, but still,
Yeah.
this song had me jamming, and the music and the beat, all the lyrics just got me jamming to it,
Mhm.
man. So I don't
That's
care.
what State Champs does, man, they're good at that.
Yeah, I don't care that it's cheesy pop punk if that's how you decide to look at
It
it.
was still upbeat enough to, like, really get into it.
Yeah, it's I
I like the message too, like, it was very relatable message about, generally just having, like, a deja vu moment anytime you start a new relationship, you're like, "Ooh, this reminds me of this really good relationship I had, and now I hate this relationship." At least that's the message I heard, 'cause it just kept it's so
yeah,
intoxicating, and it's like every time I start to feel good about this, it's like, "Oh, I think about this person."
yeah. That's
I
that.
hate the way I still get lovesick from Light Blue.
Yeah, that's 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 the vibe out. That's what I thought it was too. That's my understanding of the song. So,
Mhm.
which they've got a couple songs with the um, in a bad relationship song. Uh, I don't know. We'll get to the other one. I'm not gonna scroll through my notes right now and find the
Yeah.
other ones, but there's definitely
Yeah,
a
there is
couple of
another
them.
one.
So, but yeah, that ended up being my favorite just because I already had it saved and it came up and I was like, yeah, this is a good song still. This tracks.
They still got it.
They state champs can still give me light blue balls. But anyways, too late to say, Rob. How did you feel about Ye Olde Too Late to Say, the next song on the
Did
album?
did this song remind you of any other songs?
I I just said I literally said it's all right, but sounds like a lot of their other songs I've forgotten.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say it reminded me at least the very first 4 or 5 words of the chorus, "Is it too late to say?" remind me, especially, even just the notes and the tune of it sounded exactly like Lime Street by Neck Deep, like, it was the exact same pitch and everything. "Is it
Hmm.
too late to say?" And then,
Uh,
you know, different directions there, but it reminded me of that, and I feel like Stay Chance had to know that, like, they're both equally powerful forces in that era and genre of pop punk, I feel like, but that's what it kept
yeah.
reminding me of, but I did like the song, it was very melodic chorus, I like the message, that it was about holding on to yourself and even trying to set boundaries, maybe even if it's too late for whatever situation you're in, that's what it sounded like, is it too late to say this or that? And trying to just hold on to yourself through whatever situation or relationship you're in. But
Yeah, it's yeah.
that specific line reminded me of Lime Street by Neck Deep.
I didn't get that vibe, but I just went and listened to it after you said
Really?
that.
I
Well,
thought I honestly thought for sure me and you were gonna say the exact same thing. I thought you would have caught that.
yeah, that's Lime Street wasn't what it got me. There's something else that reminds me of, but I can't remember where it was. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and think like whistle it into the microphone. Now you've got it in my head, dude. I don't know. I'm gonna just
Um,
that song's gonna be on
it's there,
repeat
man.
all
Trust
day
me, it's
tomorrow
there.
till I get it. So yeah, I don't know. It was an alright song, but it just sounded like one of those songs that would blend in with all these other random songs of theirs that I haven't really listened to.
Fair
Or haven't
enough.
really remembered, I guess. I've listened to all their music, obviously, but I don't know.
Obviously.
Yeah, not to brag, but I have listened to all 5 of their albums or whatever they
Not
have.
to brag, but State Champs is frequently in my top 5 favorite artists on Spotify Wrapped. Not to brag.
Are they? I'm trying to think. They might have been in my top. They just
Usually,
have.
I'm pretty sure they might have. I don't want to say this for sure, but I feel like they might have been in my top 5 every year since Wrapped has been a thing.
Huh.
I'd have
Dude,
to go back and look, but I have been.
random tangent though, but I am very much looking forward to Spotify Wrapped this year because I
Dude,
feel
I'm
like this
stoked. I
year
love Spotify Wrapped.
my music taste has like changed so much, and I've gotten
Oh yeah,
so into different styles of music that I'm actually
you
curious to
have.
see what it's gonna do.
You have.
So
You really got into that like bluesy soul rock.
yeah, man.
I keep
I
finding songs that I'm like, I should send the song to Steven and see if he likes it. But then I'm like, I also want to save it for Music League and
Yeah,
get
I
points from
know.
him.
I know, bro. I keep wanting to send you songs too. I'm like, dude, check this band out. But I'm like, I know this song's gonna do so well in Music League. I don't
Like
know.
back when
Sometimes I
you,
do though, because I just want to keep sharing music. And
I
I'm like,
know, and
eh,
and I'm gonna find more music, so it'll happen. But
yeah,
like back when you asked me to a couple months ago, and you asked me to like recommend you some music, I was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, I got you, and I built like that whole playlist. And then I'll
yeah,
keep coming across a song. I'm like, I should just throw this in a playlist, but I'm like, I don't want him to hear it before I get points from it.
yeah.
But unsponsored plug for Music League, very fun music game to play with your friends on your phone.
Feel free.
Speaking of, I don't think you've joined the new league yet.
I have indeed.
Oh, you did?
You're a
Okay.
liar.
Well, I haven't checked recently,
Well,
aka like since yesterday. I don't know.
well, you send it on the first day of mine and Durban's trip is when you
Yeah, I
sent
know.
it out. So we were
That's why
sitting
I
there.
wasn't pressuring you to join it.
Well, we were just sitting there on the drive tracks. Like he read out all the um categories, so that way I'm like, all right, well, we've got 50 hours of driving that we're gonna be doing to find
Hmm.
one song for each category. So
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, Alyssa actually texted me like shortly after I sent out the link for the new league and the dubstep round. I called it Wub One Out, and she said she
I
spit out
know.
her drink when she read that. I was like, yes, that's what
that
I'm
cr-
going for.
that cracked me up, dude. That was so good. Yeah.
Dude, Durbin cracked me up. Because I already had the idea for a round that like had children singing, and he was like, you could call it Diddy's guest party or guest list. I was like, that's horrible, but yes, that's what I'm calling it. Yep.
Oh man. That yeah.
Oh man.
Your song titles are consistently or your category titles. You've got some gems for sure.
Good. That's all I want to be known for. Put it on my tombstone.
I
Had great Music League category titles.
my favorite was the sax one of the saxophone rounds we did was we will have sax in your car.
I was hoping somebody would get that.
Oh yeah. Fantastic.
All right.
Anyways,
So, anyways, next up would be Hell of It.
or as my phone
Another song.
autocorrected, Hill of It. HE''LL. That's what I just realized.
I swear too much apparently because my phone thought this was just fine.
Yeah, mine actually autocorrected it to just like 12 different swear words all at once. It's just a string of
It's like,
obscenities.
here's a word you can't put on a podcast.
But yeah, so um I don't know. I'll be honest, this was one of the ones I didn't have much notes on. I thought it
Uh-huh.
was just one of the another kind of basic song of the playlist. Like it didn't really stick out to me. It wasn't going to get added to any playlist. I can definitely see this being a song I listen to. If it just came up in a shuffle, I'd listen to it through. Like if I'm listening to my Discover Weekly in a month and this pops up, I'll listen to it. But it's not getting
Mhm.
added to anything. I don't think.
Yeah. I didn't have a whole lot of notes on it either. Again, I said it was a super catchy chorus. Fun to just bob your head around to a little bit. I liked it. I liked it because I've said this before, like a lot of the music that we cover is a lot of like sad, heartbreaky kind of lyrics. And
Mm-hmm.
this one was actually more about actually having fun in a new relationship. It was just like,
Yeah.
let's do this and let's have fun for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Um, and because I guess because of that, it was it. we talked about them having this new borderline pop rock sound. This song had a little bit different of a sound to it, and I like this sound. As far as the new sound goes, I like this version of that sound
Huh.
better.
Nice. Yeah, I
Just
will say
more fun and really rhythmic and just
yeah.
just I mean, it's happy. The lyrics are happy too, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I do
And
like
they
that
also
that
they
point.
also teased us with a almost solo again. Like, this was even shorter than the other one.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there was just a little riff that made you think they were gonna do a solo, and it's like, "Okay, never mind."
Yeah. That is a good point, though, that I like that point about actually having, like, a happy song come into our repertoire, because that was definitely, like, when I was, when I was into the pop punk scene in in high school and stuff like that, I loved, like, those happier love song versions.
Mhm.
I had a lot of those saved, so
Yeah.
but I always think, Coffee Talk by Broadside, Bro. That's, like, one of the
Yeah.
great love, happy pop punk. That was a great,
Oh,
great
yeah.
song. Yeah, so it kinda gives me that vibe, honestly, like, the lyrics are the same, not the I mean, musically, it's a little same, but the lyrics definitely the same with just laying around in Coffee Talk is just laying around talking. They're just laying it just hanging out, drinking wine, that kinda thing, so, yeah, good point, Rob, you know what? You've opened my eyes, and that's what this podcast is for.
That's what we do. We don't know Toots, but we can help other people know some.
Yeah, we're learning with you right now. Yeah.
But then the happy, this is a fun relationship, 180's right back
Yeah.
into sobering the
Womp.
next track up. But
Yeah.
speaking of Neck Deep and Kings of the New Age, this song very, very much reminded me of a song off of Kings of the New Age. Everybody But You had the lead singer from Neck Deep on it. Like I guess the sound of it, like the music, the instrumentals reminded me very much of the Everybody But You. I don't know why. Like I said,
Mhm.
that I didn't know a whole lot of the songs off that album, but that was one that I actually liked, and I guess I'm just more familiar with that sound, but this song reminded me of that one for sure.
So you were a fan of this song then?
I mean, I guess it still wasn't one of my favorites. I liked the lyrics. I couldn't get drunk enough to let that love back into my brain, but the thought of you is sobering.
Mm.
Very yeah, I like those lyrics.
Yeah.
Been there, Derek.
Derek. Derek. I don't know. I thought the song was alright. It just had a bit more of pop than punk, and for me
Yeah, it did.
I like pop punk a lot. It's one of my top genres, but
Always.
just when it gets to too pop, and I like the guitar sloppy guitaring of the punk side of things, and this just felt
Yeah.
like a little more poppy, so I struggled to get into this song, to be
I will say,
honest.
like, you say pop punk is always one of your top genres, and as far as rap is concerned, I guess apparently it is mine too. But typically, like, old school pop punk has kind of been phased out for me, more or less. But State Champs just always stays true. Like, they're probably still considered a pop punk band, even if they don't admit it, and they want to be more like Trippie Redd. But I still call them pop punk, and I think their sound has stayed very consistent over the years. So I guess that's probably why they stay pop punk stays in my top genres.
Yeah, I think I'm not going out and finding a lot of new pop punk. It's really just I
Yeah,
still like a lot of my old pop punk and punk rock.
yeah, for sure.
That's what keeps it in my top genres is
But I
more
but,
old
like,
stuff.
we were talking about how that one song was that very classic message of, like, "I like
Yeah.
this girl, but she doesn't like me," and that message just doesn't really resonate with me too much anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know if State Champ's lyrics phrase it, or it's probably just their music is just so it's just I really like their music. The instrumentals of it all is just very catchy, so maybe
Yeah.
that's what keeps them around for me.
Yeah. Well, moving on from sobering then, I guess, into tight grip. Speaking of the punk vibe. I thought this one had more of the
and Blue
punk
Balls.
vibe. I thought this brought it back in. So I like Tight Grip.
Did you? Yeah, I didn't. I'll say I didn't have a whole lot of notes on this other than the chorus did remind me of some classic pop punk song, but I don't know why. I just can't place it.
Oof. I didn't.
Did it remind you of anything? I was hoping this was another one where I thought maybe you would say the same thing I was thinking, but maybe put more into it because it reminded me of very specifically for some reason reminded me of a very specific pop punk song, but I could not remember it.
I don't think so.
Huh.
I'm listening to it. I don't know, man. Cause
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't honestly, but I just feel maybe it's just that sound.
I'm terrible at just pulling out, um, pop punk, like, or pulling out songs off the top of my head. A song comes up in the shuffle and I can just start singing it. But at this point, like, I have so many different songs saved in so many different playlists. And at this point, also, the bands that I like is so, like, I just like one or two songs from this band. And I have that for hundreds of random bands. So I don't know. I suck at just thinking of them off the top of my head. This definitely didn't ring any bells for me. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
I'm sorry.
worth a try. I had to
Yeah.
ask.
I'll give it a listen tomorrow and
I
see.
mean, if it didn't remind you off the rip, then it's probably not going to remind you if you're focusing on it. But worth a try.
That's stupid to say, but
Like that time. Well, that time from the last episode when you were like, "Here's this home team song. What song does this remind you of?" And I've listened to it many times since then, and every time I'm like, "Oh, it's this band," and I can't get it.
yeah, dude, but it does, bro, right?
It does. I don't know why, but it just does.
I don't know.
And that's what
That
this song
still
is doing to me.
bothers me. That still bothers me, bro. I
I did
listen.
want to say maybe like
You texted
Dance
me.
Gavin Dance maybe,
You
but
texted me
I don't
a
even
band,
think
and I
that's
was like,
right.
let's see here.
I texted you Bill Murray,
Bill Murray.
like the all one word Bilmuri.
Yeah,
I think
that's
to be honest, I think that's the band I'm thinking of, but I still don't think that's the one that you and I are thinking of because I know there's a right answer, but we haven't arrived at it yet.
yeah. I don't know. I'll keep listening to it, and then one day I'm gonna listen to the band it reminds me of. Right, they're gonna come up in the shuffle right one after another.
They better, because as much as Spotify loves to keep playing stuff I've already heard 1,000 times, at one point that one's gonna come up.
Dude, that's what was so frustrating with mine and Durden's trip, bro. Is we were listening to Um, basically he combined his everything playlist with like my Toast and Jams playlist, and then we put that into
Mhm.
one playlist, and that's what we'd listen to. And it was like after like day 2, we couldn't listen to the playlist anymore because it would just shuffle. Like
Yeah.
it had like 42 hours of music in it, and it would not. First of all, like 30 something of those hours were Durbin's. Or it had 50 hours of music, I think, and 40 hours was Durbin's one playlist. I'm like, bro, you need to diversify that thing. Holy
Yeah.
crap, dude. But it would just play the same songs. I'm like, how do you have like
Dude, well,
hundreds of thousands, or not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds and thousands of songs to choose from, and you can't
yeah,
find more than 10?
their algorithm has gotten really bad. Like,
Oh my
I remember when
gosh.
they first introduced the DJ, I was like, "Oh, this is good," and I was finding new music left and right from
Yeah.
the DJ, and
Yep.
now when I listen to the DJ, it's like, here's something you were into 2 years ago," and I'll listen to those couple songs, and it's like, "Here's something you were into 3 years ago," and then it'll play a couple songs, it's like, "Here's something you might not have heard," and then it plays like 5 songs that I've already heard, and I was like, "What? You know what I've heard.
I
Play something
know.
else."
It's wild because I don't know coding and like that kind of application development. Like I don't know how to do any of that. But
Mhm.
that seems like such an easy thing. Algorithm wise is basically if it's been listened to within this period of time, don't suggest it. Like that's I feel like that's just like a
Especially if
2 lines of
especially if you're gonna
code.
Especially if you're gonna say, "Here's something you might not have heard," and then it plays something you listened to last week.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
"Nah, I've
don't
heard
know,
that,
man.
man."
I have especially, like, if it's giving me suggested songs, it shouldn't be suggested songs when when I already have it saved into a playlist and downloaded. It
Yeah,
knows
yeah,
my playlist.
yeah.
How are you suggesting oh my goodness. I don't know,
I
it's
remember
gotten
one
worse.
time I saw a video on Instagram of the guy that does the voice for the DJ, um, was, like, just doing, like, these man on the street videos,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
was like, "Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm the voice of DJ X on Spotify. I'm just going out to random strangers and finding out what music they like and recommending something that they might like based off of that." And so the first guy he goes up to, he was like, "So what do you listen to?" And he's like, "Oh, it's this band called Foles," which I personally am familiar with. I have a lot of Foles saved to my um like various playlists or whatever. And he was the guy that voices X was like, "Oh, I've never heard of them." Which okay, sure, but like I once heard that they opened for Adele, like, they're not big in America, but in UK, they're huge apparently, and they opened for
Yeah.
Adele,
Oh,
and, so that's pretty significant, and he's like, "Oh, I've never heard of them." So he listens to them, and he's like, "Okay, well, if you like this, how about" I think he recommended no, not the Strokes. Which one's older, the Strokes or the Struts?
the
The
s
Struts is older, I think.
I was gonna say
Whichever the
Struts.
newer one is he recommended them, and the other guy was like, "Oh, I've never heard of them." I was like, "I've heard of both of y'all. I've heard of both these bands. Y'all need to man, you're supposed to be like the voice of music diversity. Come on."
Yeah, well,
So if the human touch is any indication of how bad Spotify's algorithm has gotten, DJX is not living up to the hype.
yeah, it's bad. I don't understand how the Smart Shuffle dude, I was so pumped when that came out. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be
Mhm.
amazing." And it's absolute garbage. It just brings in stuff I have saved in other playlists. I'm like, "Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah.
I guess there's no point in that. I didn't need you to shuffle all my music. I can do
Yep.
that myself." Anyways,
Well, we keep getting off on these tangents.
and
Let's
they're
move on
all
to I Still
long
Want To.
tangents. We're getting
Let's
off
move on
on
to I Still Want To is the next song. It's about not being able to move on even though you really know you should be able to. You still wanna call this person, you still wanna talk to this person even though you know you shouldn't and shouldn't. I thought it was really relatable, very catchy, good, and I also like they had a quick little punchy outro that I felt like they should have included more of that style of the song into the rest of the song, but overall, I did like the song.
Yeah, I liked it. It had more of I wrote down the outro had a little bit of a punchy outro too, I thought. So
Mhm.
I like that. Have a little bit of a riff and a breakdown around the 2-minute
Yeah.
mark that got me headbanging. So I thought this was another one that brought the punk sound back into it, more punk than pop. So
Mhm.
I was indeed a fan of I Still Want To as well. Um,
Yeah.
but I thought because this is another yeah, like, and it was also kind of like a don't tell me what I can't like. I'm not gonna be told what I can and can't do. I still want to do
Yeah.
this. So classic punk, pop punk kind of vibe with the like, you can't tell me.
I thought it was I guess I didn't get that message as much as the, "I still wanna talk to you" message.
Yeah, yeah,
But he does I mean, even though he does say, even though I shouldn't, I still want to.
yeah. Well, yeah. It wasn't like that's what I was saying. Is like everyone's telling me I shouldn't, but I don't care what they're saying. Is I'm still going to. Is kind of the
Right.
message I was getting. So, but yeah, I don't know. I feel bad that on some of these songs I really don't have many notes because I will say like it's a little. I liked the album. I'm just a big fan of their older style, and as it gets a little
Yeah.
poppier, it's harder for me to really distinguish and find uniqueness in the songs. But
Mhm.
this one was good because it did have some more punchy guitar sections throughout the song, so that's what made it stand out
Yeah.
more to me. But
Yeah.
lyrically, it was another. because I even said that near the beginning, is there are several. Being in a relationship that you're not supposed to be in, or being in love with someone you're not supposed to be in, that's what this is. So,
Which at the same time feels a little disingenuous because isn't he like married, the
I
lead
don't
singer,
know.
Derek?
I'm not up on my state champs lore.
I know his name. I know the bassist's name, and
Derek.
I think the drummer's first name is Tyler, or maybe that's another guy in the band. I think there's a Tyler in the band. Other than that, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I
Yeah.
also don't know the lore too much,
It's
but I feel
Derek
like he's married.
Descanio, Tyler Sizalkowski, Ryan Scott
Yep,
Graham, and
all those
Evan
syllables included.
Ambrosio deliver a
Yeah,
strong message. Produced by Drew Folk,
I've actually
aka
met the
Wizard
band
Blood.
before.
You met what?
Did you know that? Did you know I've met state champs before? I
Oh, yeah.
got to go to a meet and greet,
Yeah,
and
because
then
you
that phone crashed hardcore, and I lost all the pictures.
and the poster you had signed by them, you didn't bring to the Neck Deep meet and greet,
Dude,
so you couldn't get the Neck Deep side get signed.
I think about that an odd amount of time.
Because,
Like
like,
I have so for the listeners, I have a poster from when I went to the meet and greet with state champs. The meet and greet included the meet and greet, obviously, and then like a chance to talk. It included a memorabilia pin, which I have since lost a long time ago. I maybe had that for a week, and it included a poster it was when State Champs and Neck Deep were co-headlining a tour together. It had animated pictures of both of the bands, and the State Champs members signed they all signed their half, and then the Neck Deep side did not have it signed. It's still hanging up actually on my bedroom door, I believe. But me and Steven a couple years ago, when on one of the many occasions when we bought Blink-182 tickets and didn't get to see them, Neck Deep was opening for them. And Neck Deep was like, well, this sucks for the fans. Let's do a meet and greet at least and show our new music video. And we went just to like go see what it was all about. And then we saw all these people showing up with all this stuff to sign. I was like, dude, this would have been a perfect time to get the other half of my poster signed. And I didn't. And I was 2.5 hours from home, so I couldn't do it.
yeah, that.
I think about that an unhealthy amount. That breaks my heart that I did that, because I know that they would have been like, this is so sick. Because that was a couple years ago at this point, but even that was a couple years after I did that state champs meet and greet. So they probably would have been like, dude, this is so cool that you have this. Hell yeah, let's
Yeah.
sign this.
And
I
then
feel
you
like I
guys
would have made at
become
least one
best
guy's day.
friends.
Yeah, I would have been like on a group text message, and like maybe even like been in a music video with they probably would have had like my smoking hot naked body in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that
Mm-hmm.
that's the natural progression of like meet and greets with cool merch to sign.
Yeah. Dude, you got to do it now while it's still, like, possible to get it. Because, like, if you wait till their last show, whatever a meet and greet would cost with them is
Oh, it's
going to
gonna be
be
too much.
too much. I don't know.
Well, not to go on another super long tangent, but Neck Deep is not a band that I would pay a lot of money to see anymore anyways, and I would definitely want to do a meet and greet because they've definitely gone towards the pop rock sound, but
Yeah,
I feel like
it's.
we haven't covered them too much
When was the last time they came out with music?
recently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it wasn't too long ago. I remember us listening to the album being like, ugh.
Yeah, their last album was very pop rocky. It was this year? It was this year. Forgot about that.
I think,
Yeah, oh yeah, this was a very pop rock. Yeah, it wasn't a long album. It says 33 minutes, but yeah, this was not an album for me.
well, this album that we're doing right now is only 36,
Yeah, that's
but
true. That's
but
true.
no,
But still.
I remember they came out with an EP. Like, I think, like, they came out with like 3 of the songs all at once, and me and you were like, it was when we were doing
Mm.
this podcast.
Yeah, we did talk about it, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was not great. We're like, well, that's one of the biggest turnarounds for bands that I listen to, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, but we gotta
Yeah,
move.
let's
We gotta
not
move,
go down
man.
another tangent here.
Yeah. Save. Wait. Just a Dream.
Save
Just a
Face
Dream.
Story. Oh yeah,
Wait.
Just a Dream.
Yeah. I got a little confused there. This is. I don't know. Despite it not being like super punk, I thought it was still a pretty. This was one of the ones I liked on this album a lot as well. It just starts off with that
Mm-hmm.
slow little verse and then goes into just good instrumentals, good guitar. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought it
I liked
was.
I liked that how they did the first chorus over just the drums with like the slight guitar riffs,
Yeah.
and then they did the excuse me, they did the same thing like in the bridge, but that was without the guitar riffs. It was just the drums. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that version of the chorus. But this was another very poppy song, I thought.
Yeah, it was. That's what's weird is every once in a while we'll do one of these album reviews and I'll be like, man, the style song I've been hating on, all of a sudden one pops up later in the album, like, but this one wasn't bad. And that's this one for me. I was like, this one was not too shabby. I
Yeah.
think would only. So
Whittly.
this song
Well,
one
that's
not
all I
too
had to
bad.
say about it. It wasn't my favorite off the album.
No, yeah, it's not gonna get added to any playlist. Sometimes I feel like there's songs on here where they just had some music and they kind of put stuff on to flush out the album. That's not terrible. Sometimes you listen to albums and it's like, wow, that was awful. Is that really a song? This one just feels like sometimes I feel like they had to know, like, man, this song's just pretty average. I don't know.
Yeah.
They can't be thinking
That's all right.
all 12 of these songs or whatever were bangers.
If they're being realistic.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, I couldn't write one of these. I could not write a single song. Whatever the worst song on this album is, whatever the best song I could write, their worst song on this album would be better.
I mean, they are the pros. They are champs, at least of their
Yeah.
state.
Yeah, they're only state, so no national, but still state. I mean, state's a big deal, especially depending on what division you're in.
I mean, you need to make a national champs band,
It's
pop
just
punk band, and
just
it's just slightly different versions of their songs.
just with more guitar. We just all the notes we've given on this album, we put into effect on this song or on our album. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna spend too much time on just a right, just a dream. That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I accidentally scrolled through my notes on accident. So, Save Face Story.
Hmm.
So I thought this was a good song. What, did you not think so?
I thought so. I thought it had like that OG
Oh,
state
okay.
champs sound to it. Like maybe
Yeah.
maybe not like finer things, but more like around the world and back. I thought it had that kind of sound to it. Had
Have you
like
ever
that.
listened to Slope, the other band on this album?
No, this is the first time I heard of them. I didn't listen to them, but I looked at their profile. And I guess they're kind of like borderline like punk and easy core maybe. Because when I first heard the song, like I was like, ooh, that slope part ruined the song. Like the little like hardcore like yelling. I don't know if
Mm.
hardcore is not the right sound or right phrase, but that kind of like yelling over the breakdown. And at first I didn't really like it, but like I said, I've listened to this album multiple times since it came out, and it's grown on me. I'm not gonna lie. Cause like
Yeah, it
it
made me.
doesn't seem like it matches the song, but the more I listen to it, I'm like, that's not too shabby.
I thought it matched the song. I was just listening to. It, I'm like, that's not Mr. State Champs.
That's not
Mr. Champs. I
that's not
Who
Mr.
is that? And then I
Champs
went and looked.
State if you're
I
his
haven't gotten a
friend.
chance. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to Slope, but I mean, I'm always needing something else to listen to, so I might as well give him a little ear ear minute.
Give him the old ear minute. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But yeah, I mean, not a bad song.
I will say
It's
this felt like another song to kind of just stand at the edge of the pit and just kind of vibe to, just kind of,
yeah.
rock,
They've
sing
got
along, headbang, and move your body a little bit. I
they've got a
hesitate to say dance
classic.
because your boy can't dance.
Yeah, well, there's no dance in this music anyways. They've got a classic breakdown in the song that'll get you
Yeah,
moving a little bit there, a little ways in, but yeah, not bad. But Golden Years, bro. The final song.
I thought it was a good outro
How did
track.
what's that?
I thought it was a good outro track.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a great song overall, man.
Mhm.
I was feeling alive.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that quote from The Office where, excuse me, where Andy's like, "I wish someone would tell you you're in the good old days before you've left them," or whatever he says. Because the chorus is, "Why don't I find a way to say that maybe the golden years, they mean something a bit different these days?" I felt like that was,
Mhm.
like, the exact same vibe, like, he's trying to say, it's hard to move on from these good things in the past and just find joy in the present, which I feel like a lot of people can relate to, 'cause like Andy in The Office says, it's hard to know you're living the best days of your life until they're in the past.
Yeah. It also made me think, I'm like, is this their announcement of retirement with the
I
putting
I
the
had
past
that
up on the
thought, but I was
shelf
like,
and falling in love
I
with
don't even
something
wanna think
else?
that.
Well, you know what? Because they have that lyric I said, the putting the past up on the shelf, falling in love with something else at the end of their album, right? I'm like, man, at least if they did stop right now, right? At
Mhm.
least they didn't absolutely just cook, like, just
Yeah,
kill their
right?
music and then quit. Like, there are so many bands that try and come out with 2 or 3 more albums when they
Yeah,
should have been done
and
a
when they
while
shouldn't
ago.
have.
And they're, yeah, super underperforming albums. None of their OG fans like them at all, and they don't get a bunch of new fans from it or anything. So I I wouldn't be, I mean, I'd be sad, but I'd be like, "Thank you for not ruining state champs for me."
Yeah. But I think this album showed that they still got some of that OG state champs left. And I think
Yeah. Oh,
especially
yeah,
next,
for
like,
sure.
this concert coming up, I think it's still gonna be just as good as any of the other 5 times I've gone to see him. So I think
Yeah.
they've definitely still got it.
Yeah.
They also had a lyric, near the end where in the background vocals, he's saying, "Maybe the good things have to change, but that doesn't mean that they go away." So, like, while he's saying it's hard to move on from the good things in the past, it also doesn't mean that just because these good things are in the past, it doesn't mean that good things aren't happening right now, or that or even that, like, the good times aren't still with you, like, you can look back on the good times and reminisce about them, but you're still having good times, and I think that's what this song was trying to say. I really like the message of this
Mm,
song.
nice. Well, there's some speculations, and I'm gonna call, you know what? We'll call it right now that if they do end up retiring, it was first speculated on the We Don't Know Toots podcast.
We nailed it. You heard it here first.
And we'll get them on here, guys. They will be a guest.
That'd be
We
dope.
will talk to
Honestly, that'd
them.
be super dope.
That'd be so cool, dude.
We have a long way to go. We
And
we
be
might wanna
like,
include video in our podcast before we start dreaming like
yeah,
that.
we'll be like, hey, you remember that Sum 41 Turnstile concert that you went to, and two dudes took a terrible photo with you that you couldn't end up seeing? That was us, dude.
That was us. You remember how awkward we made you feel and how awkward that makes us feel all these years later? Yeah, that was us.
Yeah, we're so sorry. So sorry. I blame that on you. I was just a youth, Rob. I was a boy, but a young lad in the concert scene, at
But
least.
you didn't know it was him, so I was able to help you recognize, "Hey, that's that guy from State Champs, dude."
Exactly. So you're
The
the
guy that
only
almost
reason I
quit,
took that picture, bro.
that was the guy that almost quit the band, and now he's realizing what it's all about is the fans that are trying to take photos with him in a dimly lit dive bar at a concert,
At a different band's
at a
concert.
different man's concert.
Dude was just trying to go out and take Dude was just trying to go out and enjoy music.
I will say
He's
we were
just
not
like
the only
us.
people taking photos
No.
and talking to him, but yeah, that does make me cringe a little bit.
Yeah, also makes me sad. I'm like, I wanna be, if I run into a celebrity on the road, I wanna be chill, man. I wanna be like, "Sup, LeBron?" And then
Yeah,
keep walking.
dude, LeBron LeBron's always the celebrity I think of. I'm like, if I ever meet a celebrity, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh man, big fan of your game. Thanks for bringing a championship to Cleveland." And I'll just be like, I might take a. I mean, honestly, it's LeBron, so like, I'll take a picture with him. But like in general, I really want to be cool about meeting whatever celebrity I meet and just like not make him feel like he's obligated to do something or
Yeah,
she.
that's the hope. We'll see.
All
All
right, well
right, we
that's
should
State Champ's self-titled album right there. In all, overall, I think there's something for every era of State Champs here. Mainly the new era of State
yeah,
Champs, but as an OG State Champs fan, I very much enjoyed this album.
yeah, same. Very, very, very enjoyable. I've got one song saved. A couple I'll probably end up adding when I go back through and listen to it for the sake of enjoyment and not
This might be another
analytics.
living proof album for you. This might take a little while to marinate for you.
Yeah, I could see that, especially with how, I mean, just a couple years ago, my music taste compared to now, maybe
Exactly.
I'll change, but let's get on to our song recommendations.
Okay.
So, triple checking. I don't have our I thought I had our We Don't Know Toots podcast playlist,
Wow. You don't have it saved.
but I don't know if you've sent it to me.
I sent it to you at one point when you were about to go on a flight and I was like, here's some music to listen to, you know, to let the good times roll on your flight, but apparently that those good times weren't good enough for you.
That doesn't sound correct in the
I know it's
slightest.
correct.
I
No,
can
I
see
know
what
it
all
was
links you
whatever
sent.
trip you went on when your car got stolen. I remember that. It was that New Year's trip.
Oh,
I
that
know
was
for a
so
fact that was the.
great. I
Well,
don't
I'll
know,
send it to you
man.
again and plug it again here, but I'll include that playlist in the bio, but any song we've recommended has been included in a playlist on my Spotify profile, and I'll include it in the bio in case you want to hear any song we think is worth listening to. It'll be in
Yeah.
the not the bio though. What's it called on YouTube? The description or the comments or whatever you want to call it.
Description, sure. I don't
Yeah.
know. But my recommendation, you tell me. I know you've heard this song because I played it in Music League. That's why I want to use it because I don't want to use the other ones that I really want to use. Tell Your Mother by Dr. Joe.
Hold up. Hold up. I feel like you've recommended
Hold on.
this.
No,
Hold on.
I didn't think I
Let
had.
me pull this playlist up. Oh
It
wow.
would be
Oh, hold
really
on.
recent.
It's sort by recently added and then change it to the recently added because that's a thing. Wait, what is? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong playlist. I'm like, there's no way we recommended this. Hold on. All right. Now that I'm looking at the right playlist, let's see here. Recently added and then recently added. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay,
You're in the clear here.
I didn't think so. All right. I know you liked it. You gave me a good amount of points because it has a blues rock vibe to it. This
Yeah.
guy does
Oh,
not have.
I was thinking of Off the Track by Taylor Jakes. That's a song you have recommended
Yeah.
that you also used. But yes, continue.
Yeah, this guy only has like 19,000 monthly listeners. Dr. Joe. But this is a good blues rock song. This signifies the music. A lot of the music I'm getting into right now.
Okay. Wait, what was the song called?
Tell Your Mother by Dr. Joe.
Tell your mother. All right, that's going
Tell your
straight into the
father.
playlist so all our loyal fans can hear it.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
I
And
do remember
so I
liking
can
that
hear
one
it.
though. I do remember that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I have so much music, bro. All right, give me
For
yours.
people that don't know
Scoop.
Toots, we sure got a lot of Toots to recommend. Um, hold on, let me pull it back up here. I know who sings it. I forget what it's called. So Rufus Du Sol, who I've recommended to, I know just you at least.
Yep.
Came out with a new album this year. It, I guess Rufus Du Sol is kind of an acquired taste if you like EDM.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a chill, almost kind of house music, but Break My Love is a very good song off that album. I thought it has kind of like an 80s almost sound to it, sounds like it would be in like an 80s movie, but Break My Love by Rufus Du Sol. And I don't know that we've ever recommended EDM at the end of a show, so I'm happy to be the first if that's the case.
Dude, I feel like Spotify will not load right now. I wanted to pull that song up. There it is. Let me look at the cover art. Dog. Well, I'm gonna check it out, but I don't know what Spotify's doing. Just straight up pooping the bed right now.
That's what
So
Spotify's been doing recently. That's what they're known for
there
at
it
the
is.
moment.
Spotify just straight up crashed, dude. For me, I can't even use it anymore. So I don't know what that's about, but come on. Yeah, so I can't. But I'm gonna give that a listen to because I feel like I don't know. I don't want to say I have that song saved because who knows?
You do
Because
not.
uh, how would you know?
I haven't played it in any game recently, and I know you're probably not going out of your way to listen to Rufus Du Sol, but I know that
I
he came out
did.
with a new album. Oh, well,
You
he came out
suggested
with a new album this year.
him to me. You suggested him to me back when I asked you for music suggestions, and I went and listened to like all of his music.
Oh, well, maybe you did then. I
Yeah,
don't know that you
don't
saved
you
it, but
dare.
it's possible you've heard it.
I've probably heard the song. I just don't know if I saved it. Who knows? You'll never know with Spotify. It's friggin' done, I guess.
You might not ever
Anyways,
know.
well, tutors. There you have it. State
Yeah,
champs. Still carrying on for their OG fans. Mad respect for that. I appreciate state champs. Thank you so much. Tutors, you've got 2 hot songs to listen to. Tell Your Mother by Dr. Joe and Break My Love by Rufus Du Sol. Give them both a listen. Let us know how you like them.
Yeah, that
And
one,
leave us some
this
suggestions in the
episode ran a
comments.
little long, but what do you expect when it's a band that we both love so passionately?
Yeah. Our passion just oozes into this podcast. So
They
if
weren't
you
ready
want
for this
drippy,
amount of
oozy
passion.
passion, you've come to the right place. So we're going to leave now because it has been over an hour. And
It has.
I feel like I could keep talking. So
Yep. And yeah, I guess we'll just catch you all in the next one. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys later.
catch you later, Bill and Ted.